What's good? What's good, YouTube? What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, man. Let's go ahead and give it a few seconds. Gotta get a few people in. Man. 1 second. Get everything together. Give everybody some time to come in. We're probably gonna have like 1 or 2 people come in. Got a few stragglers. Let's see if I can try to pull this up. All right. Boom, boom. All right. So, man, look, let's go ahead and just jump into it, man. When people come in. But what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, man. Whew, we got something good today. Yeah, we got something good today. Man. So we got Fresh and Fit pretty much responding to these allegations, to these rumors or whatnot of the videos that we heard of him telling this lady, hey, I don't want the child. You might need to do this. You might need to do that. Right? We all heard it. Now, a lot of people like to sit up here and say this man is an imp. A lot of people like to say this man is an imp. He doesn't, he pedestalizes women, this, that, and the third. Now, here's the thing, right? I know a lot of simps, right? My best friend I've known since I was 2 years of age. He's a simp, right? He's a simp. I had a friend back in college. Simp, right? He decides to date a woman that dang near all the football players talk about. Some of them didn't had, some of them wanted, right? They're waiting in line to go ahead and get behind that chick, right? I didn't have a class with her. Now, did I ever want to do anything with her? Nah, I didn't want to do anything with her just because the things, man, that, everything that we pretty much heard, right? Everything that we pretty much heard. But the sad thing about it is the guy, he didn't care about what the girl went through. I mean, to the point where we walking out of class and guys are sitting over here telling him, right, when he first started dating her, yo, listen, you do understand that she messed with so-and-so. You do know her past. He sits here and tells me, hey, man, look, I don't like, he sits here and tell everybody, hey, man, look, it is what it is. I'm not even worried about her past. I'm worried about, man, what we got going on right now. That's an imp. That's a guy who's putting a woman on a pedestal. Because fast forward, she works in my company. So fast forward, she moves elsewhere, right? We done graduated. We graduate. She moved elsewhere. He's sitting over here constantly going down there, constantly going to see her, constantly posting her, constantly saying he loves her, this, that, and the third. And then come to find out, right? They break up. Now she's back over here, kangaroo hopping on everybody's shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but once again, when people try to tell him, hey, man, look, this ain't the route to go, he didn't want to listen. He said, hey, man, look, I know what I know. I love her. I'm going to continue to do her. That's an imp, right? Same thing with my homeboy, right? I've known this brother since he was 2 years of age. I've been telling him since in high school, right? Because he believed he was with a high school sweetheart. I've been telling him, bro, you out here doing a lot of simping stuff since high school. Fast forward, still doing it till this very day. Just did it yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So you have tolerable simps. You have imps, man, who are, who know that they're imps, but they just don't care. They have no backbone. Now, if you're an imp, you just have no backbone in general. But I would say there's different levels of simps. That's what I'm trying to get you. There's different levels of simps. Your boy Fresh, right? A lot of people keep saying this man is a imp. A lot of people keep saying this man is an imp. Do I feel like he is? I wouldn't say he's an imp, but what I will say is this is not for me. This is just my opinion. This is just not something that he really even needs to be a part of when it comes down to talking about it. Just because it's like, bro, you like getting relationship advice from Fresh ain't gonna do you any good, right? Yeah, he's only if you're talking about somebody who just piggybacks off of what they hear off the internet, I think that would be your guy Fresh. Now, am I saying that he piggybacking off of what he hears off the internet? No, but we all can see what we seeing. We all see it. We all see it. Does he really bring a whole lot of advice, a whole lot of common sense onto the show like Myron does? No, he just sits down. He just sit in the back. Now, granted, that show is going to need Myron. Whether Fresh leaves or not, it's going to need Myron. But at the end of the day, Fresh he's still integral to the show, right? Number one, they both brought that show up. Number two, you can't think of Myron without Fresh. You can't think of Fresh without Myron. So they did a great job on doing what they did with the show. They did a great job on getting this show to where it is today. But let's just be honest here. Some of the advice that they're giving is just hypocritical because of some of the things that they do. So, like I said, when you have Fresh who's sitting over here wanting to drop advice, then turning around and going back on that advice, acting like an imp, you just gonna only just be like, yo, what in the hell, bro? Yo, what in the hell? So you got a whole video where DJ Academics he actually exposed him twice for doing some imp-ish. This video right here where DJ Academics, I guess he went on live on Instagram and exposed Fresh, bro, like that's embarrassing, right? That's embarrassing. Now we can sit over here and talk about DJ Academics exposing his homeboy and whatnot, but dog, that's embarrassing. The fact that I believe, I don't know what this chick did. She might have cheated on him, broke up with him or something, but he then gets back with her. That's not something that Fresh and Fit preaches, bro. That's not something that they preach, but yet they are still here, right? Fresh is still here dealing with these women, man, that you know for a fact you shouldn't even be dealing with. Now, it's one thing to sit over here and just knock them around and get you one. Okay, then that's a different story. You sit over here trying to rub yourself one out. You got her over here to help you out. Cool, right? Jumping from different women to different women, cool, whatever. That's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. But don't sit over here and try to give advice to say, hey, man, y'all men need to be very careful. But then you go out here and you go against what you were just telling these men. And the sad thing about it is this been going on for years. Now, I'm not even saying that Myron is an imp, but he been through the exact same situation where a woman tried to lie on him and say, yeah, well, you know, I had a child, or he got a child with me. Right? Sitting over here trying to tell a woman that, hey, you know, in order to get on my show, you know, you have to you're gonna have to do some things. You're gonna have to do some things. That's just bad business practice. That's just bad business in general, right? You gotta have sex with me just to get onto my show. That's kind of wild, right? And from my understanding, he was the one that was inviting her. So what I'm trying to say is just they've been shooting themselves in the foot for the longest. Let's go ahead and look at this video, man, where DJ Academics essentially exposes this guy, right? He essentially exposes Fresh. Let me see if I can pull this thing up, man, because it's sad. It's sad because once again, you sit over here and try to tell us that, hey, man, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. As a man, you should want to do this. But then you turn around and you get exposed like this. Just going back on everything that you're saying, and then you get upset when people sit over here and say that you an imp, right? They sit over here and make these videos and say, hey, well, you know, they're lying. Can't be lying, bro, when you have a track record. You got a track record like this. There's no way people are lying when you have a track record like this, man. Boy, I tell you, boy, I freaking tell you, man. But let's go ahead and look at it. Let me see if this is the right one. Yep. Let's go ahead and hear it, man. Let's go ahead and hear it. Put y'all on mute.
Man, look at this guy. You didn't even know? Holy hero! I'm sorry you had to deal with that, brother. What type of dog is that? Yo, gotta hop on the camera. Come over here. I want a dog. Real talk. Yo, I'm in first class and everybody got a dog. What type of dog is this?
As long as you don't record,
nigga. I just want to see what dog this is. Move,
nigga.
Hero.
Delete that.
Yeah. Call it the 4K, man. Holy. Watch this. Holy. Oh my God.
Hey, what are you doing?
That's when you get my man caught up.
I don't fuck your girl.
Guys, this dude sat here and said, well, I don't post your girl. Bro, that's not even the point. It's just the point that you're getting caught in the act. It's the point that you got caught in the act. That's the whole issue about this whole thing. It's the point that you got caught in the act for doing something, man, that you tell other men not to do. You have a whole nother video where DJ Academics is exposing that ass, right? You have a whole nother video where DJ Academics is exposing that ass in front of everybody. And like I said, it's just a bad look when you sit here, man, and like I said, you try to preach something that you don't even follow yourself. that you don't even follow yourself. Let's go ahead and look at this other one, bro. It's bad. Let's look at the other one.
And obviously, Ak is a good friend, Silky as well, Leaf, Annoying TV, good people. But we had a debate, right? Talking about relationships, vetting girls, and kind of like what girls want in guys. So, Ak, can you tell the audience what the debate is about today?
Fresh, I love you, brother. But I feel like you're walking into the path of becoming what I would say is a hypocrite, or you're just strictly delusional, something that you preach against. Mm-hmm. And I would just like for you to remain on your pivot while instructing the many. We got 4,000 people in here, while instructing them how to live their lives. Make sure you're very cognizant how you're living yours. Or you could maybe just keep it real and just say, hey, you listen. Follow what I say, but not what I do. Okay. Mm-hmm. I asked you a few simple questions, and the answers were very alarming. Okay, I feel like if the roles were reversed, and we have like a lot of beautiful women on the panel today. But mm-hmm. I've watched you, and you guys know I watch your show religiously mm-hmm. when I'm not here. And the advice you give to men is very different than what you are following.
Okay, explain to me where.
The wait is over. FanDuel Sportsbook's now live in North Carolina.
America's #1 sportsbook.
Okay. And again, mm-hmm. the only audience and jury will be the chat.
Yeah.
I believe if you were speaking about a woman who, is in her early 20s, who came to Miami, who met high value men, like you would consider yourself, right?
Yeah, for this show. Yeah.
Okay. if you would speak about that woman who met that guy on a multi-million-dollar yacht, mm-hmm. the first thing in the assumption wouldn't be she loves me or she likes me for me.
Okay.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with actually liking a girl. By the way, I don't think you guys are preaching that at all. That would be I'd be inside a little Nas X territory if you guys were, but that's not what you guys are doing. Yeah. What you guys are just saying that you want guys to be aware, and also not to get finessed, right?
Yeah,
facts.
It's
about self-improvement, right? I've heard Myron say that a bunch of times.
As we do, help guys get better.
I feel like your life right now might not be.
Now, here's what I will say. Right now, Myron just admitted that, hey, well, you know what, man? Hey, man, look, we're all about accountability. We're all about getting better and whatnot. The best thing to Myron, right, when we watch this video, right, when we watch the response, the best thing that Myron can do on live is to hold that brother accountable and say, brother, you're wrong. Brother, you're wrong. What you did was wrong, right? Let's just say, even if it isn't true, the fact that you found yourself in this same situation just proves, right? It just proves, man, that, hey, man, look, we're not living what we're practicing, right? If we're not living what we're practicing, that's what Myron needs to do. If we're going to be about accountability, holding people accountable, Myron would need to jump over here and hold this brother Fresh accountable. Now, of course, he probably did it behind closed doors. I'm pretty sure Myron did it behind closed doors, but I will tell you, the best thing to do it is out in front of everybody, right? It's in front of everybody, because once again, you're just letting your fans down. After that situation that happened with Myron, where he once again was sitting over here telling a woman that she probably had to do a little something just to get onto the show, I was happy that hey, at least died out. But after that, it was more issues. It got to the point where it was hard to defend the brother. Then you have Fresh coming here with his own set of shit. Now it's hard to defend that brother when he sits over here and does some of the things that he does. It's an issue. Right? It's an issue, man. And I see y'all over here in the comments. Somebody says, I think it might be a setup just for engagement. Hey, now when Myron had that issue where people were coming in to rob or whatnot, or I don't know, something that happened 2 years ago, a lot of people were saying that was staged. It could be a setup to where they're just trying to get some more engagement. And that could be true, right? That could be true. But I doubt that would be the case, because once again, of what they talk about on a daily. I doubt that would be the case because of what they talk about on the daily, right? For this situation. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make it in my opinion, it does more harm than it does good. So that's why I'm saying I don't see why they would sit here and even try to say, well, you know what? Hey, well, let's go ahead and try to get some engagement. Let's sit here and have this girl act like she's recording me and this and that. I just don't believe that, right? I just don't believe that. But like I said, just going back to this, man, this is where you have guys, man. This is where you just have guys, man, who just don't practice what they preach. They don't practice what they preach whatsoever. And you got academics sitting over here holding this brother accountable, saying, bro, look, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, bro, like I said, you sitting over here telling guys one thing, but you're doing another. And this is what I'm saying. So if Myron can acknowledge the fact that, hey, over here we hold people accountable. Over here we do this. Over here we do that. Then there should be no issue to sit over here and hold Fresh accountable on this whole thing. Now, once again, this could be false, right? The chick, if y'all look at the video, it seemed like the chick was trying to. I say trick. It seemed like the chick was trying to set him up. I mean, so like it just automatically, as soon as she called, right? As soon as the video started to record, she went straight into, oh no, I don't want to kill the baby. I don't want to do any of that. It's almost like it's a setup. But hey, she probably could have the baby. But at the same time, you know what? Let me embarrass this guy. That's probably the case too. Let me have this baby so I can embarrass this guy. So somebody else says, nah, my thing was not staged. I talked to him personally. Okay. I mean, hey, man, like I said, when that whole situation happened, like I said, I don't know if it was real or not. I felt like it was real. I felt like it was real. But, at the same time, that's just what I was hearing. Some people were saying it was fake. Like I said, I was more on the side of it. It looked real to me, but once again, man, hey, I just I feel bad for Fresh, but at the same time, you really can't, because once again, he put himself in that situation. But let's go ahead and continue, man. Let's go ahead and continue.
Matching what you preach. And it's okay, because we all make mistakes. By the way, I've made mistakes too. And as brothers, because I've made mistakes, I could try to help you as you're making your mistake now. Okay, listen, I always say, the smart man learns from his own mistake. The wise man learns from the mistake of others. Okay, right. I'm trying to have you at least be wise, not smart. And a dumb person never learns at all.
So, you think that I haven't made mistakes in my past at all?
No, I've heard the story. You were married before.
Yeah.
Right? It was just alarming that and by the way, I like your beautiful. What do y'all consider each other? By the way, Henny, that makes
we vibing right now. We're chilling. We vibing. So
beautiful. I like it. So so y'all would be y'all just talking right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you said something on like last show when I was on. It was a little bit alarming. You said she was very different from every girl you meet in Miami, when I've heard you speak about every girl in Miami before. You generalize.
Yeah.
And I've also heard, it's one of mine's like, Martin, you got some classic quotes, my brother. You're a legend, right?
Yeah, no, thank you, bro.
Listen,
you are too.
Hey, listen, you know what I mean? We're not talking about your anecdotal experience. We're talking about like the majority of the people, okay? We're not talking about like your exception. If you were to speak about the person who we are talking about in question, who's sitting next to you.
Yeah, right here.
You wouldn't necessarily be on the position you are now. You would actually say, hey, listen, she's with you because of what you're about, right? But you made the bold statement, which this is why I think your audience is probably looking at you like if you're a hypocrite. You met her on a yacht. In a very short time, you're like, I know for a fact she's with me for me. Explain.
Okay, so you made some claims there just now, right? That were kind of assumptions, and I understand because you don't watch the show.
And once again, this is where I'm not even about to finish the whole video, but pretty much y'all get y'all sum it up, right? Y'all get the gist of it. Where once again, he's just going to go straight into denial and, oh, well, you're just coming up with assumptions. You're coming up with this. This man met this woman on a yacht. He met this woman on a yacht, right? I remember that story. He met this woman on a yacht. Hey, the story might be different, but from what I remember watching, from what I remember hearing, he met this chick on a yacht. And now he's coming in denial. He's coming up with all the excuses. My homeboy does the same thing. And this is where I'm talking about. And like I said, when people bring up that he's an imp, these are one of the reasons why. A lot of your imps are in denial. Like I said, my homeboy that I know since I was 2 years of age, he's in denial. We had elders, older brothers, myself since high school been telling him, bro, you are being a simp, bro. There's a lot of shit that you're doing is just being a simp. A lot of guys, a lot of betas, a lot of simps, they look at them being a simp, they look at that as, bro, I just love my girlfriend. Bro, man, why are you, bro? You're just hating, bro. You're this, bro. There's no need to be in denial, bro. Everybody and their mama is telling you that you're being a simp. Everybody and their mama telling you that you are one. But you can't see that because you're so stuck in love with the woman, or, you know, hey, man, I feel like what I'm doing is the correct way. It's not, especially when you have tons and tons of men telling you that, no, this is not the right way. And they've been telling you this for years. They've been telling you this shit for years. So when you have this guy who's sitting over here, right? You got Fresh who's sitting over here making up all the excuses, gonna come up with all the excuses to sit over here and try to absolve himself from accountability in this situation. And that's an issue. That's an issue because, once again, you're trying to sit here and tell other guys this is something that all men shouldn't be doing. Understand that, hey, there's certain women out here that are acting this way. There's a certain woman that is acting this way. And the fact that academics exposed you on, I don't know if the two videos I just showed y'all are the same woman or a different woman. But at the end of the day, the fact that you are finding yourself in that situation when you preach the shit that you preach, it does not align. It's bad. It's a bad look. And that's how you lose credibility. Seriously, that's how you lose credibility. And a lot of people dropped out from Fresh and Fit because of some of the shit that they've been through. They're not living to the word. And that's why I said, man, when you look at the red pill, man, we got to hold ourselves accountable. We got to hold ourselves to a higher standard than everybody else. That's just what it is, right? That's just what it is. So, you know, let's go ahead and get into the pregnancy because, like I said, man, they essentially just deflect and, you know, and like I said, man, you know, hey, they do a lot of deflecting in this. They do a whole lot of deflecting in this. And that's why I said, man, it's just better that that's why I say it's just better that when you're a part of the red pill, get yourself a family, go get yourself a wife, go get yourself kids, get all of that, right? Get all that. If you want to have something on the side, you know, hey, that's your prerogative. That's what you want to do. You want to have a little something on the side. Hey, a lot of your men are going to do that. But what I'm trying to preach here is that at the end of the day, you should want to prioritize not sitting over here doing the shit that Fresh and Fit is doing. They don't want to have no wives. They don't want to have multiple wives. You know, Fresh, it seems like they don't care for a family relationship or none of that. They only care about, hey man, how much money can I get? How rich can I get? How many bitches I can fuck? And it's like, that's not something that you should want to glorify, right? Like I said, if you want to get some punani here and there, that's one thing. But you should want to glorify, you should want to encourage men creating families, right? Which is why I had that video of Sneeko where he was sitting over here saying, man, look, dude, y'all are sitting over here preaching, you know, to these men that, hey, get a vasectomy at this age, or get a vasectomy here, yeah, just so you can stay focused because of the type of woman that we have here. You're just giving bad advice, right? You're just giving bad advice. So like I said, man, when you look at this video, he just, like I said, man, it's just deflecting to the 10th degree. And it's like, once again, it's a bad look. It's a bad look for this community because when you look at Fresh and Fit, they are the pillars of this community. Whether we like it or not, they are a pillar of this community. Fresh and Fit, Kevin Samuels, these brothers are pillars of the community. And when you look at Kevin Samuels, the only issues Kevin Samuels really only ever faced was what? People sitting here saying that he was gay. And then he cleared that. He cleared that. And guess what? Women didn't even want to listen to that. But when you have somebody like Fresh and Fit, who it just seems like they just never in the wrong, but they have all of these issues. Like, come on, man. Like, I get you gotta have a response for everything, but dog, at some point in time, you have to take some accountability about this and say, man, look, guys, what we've been preaching, man, we're still gonna keep preaching it. But the way we've been living it is a different story. The way we have been living it is a different story, man. We're gonna read some of the comments. She likes me for me. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Like, come on, bro. She likes me for me. You know, that's pretty much the same shit other women were saying when you first started your channel. When you're sitting over here saying, these are the type of women you shouldn't want to deal with. Let's just say if a woman sat up here, right? Or let's just say a guy sat up here and said, well, you know, this, you know, she likes me for me. You know, I met her on a yacht, went through the same shit Fresh went through. Right? Went through the same shit Fresh went through, but this is before Fresh went through it. A guy said the exact same thing that Fresh was going through. What would they say? What would Fresh and Myron say? She don't really want you. Well, you found her on a yacht, bro, so you need to keep her on a yacht, right? You leave her where you found her. They would be telling you all of that just to then turn around and once again find Fresh in that exact same situation. And that's why a lot of your guys are sitting over here saying Fresh is an imp. That's why a lot of your guys sitting over here saying Fresh is an imp. He's not really about this type of life. Now, like I said, do I feel like he's a simp? I wouldn't say so. Like I said, there's different levels. There's different levels. You got tolerable simps. You got simps, man, that you just can't hang around. Like my homeboy that I've been around for 2 years, right? He's a tolerable simp. He does a lot of things, man, that just doesn't register with me. But at the same time, it's just more like, I mean, I guess so, right? Some of this shit I allow to slide. Now, once again, there's a lot of things that I won't allow to slide that he hasn't done. Now, I just hope he doesn't do, right? But the guy where he's sitting over here, he knows his ladies ran through. He know his lady has ran through. Guys sitting over here saying, yeah, I'm going to the party with this chick and her boyfriend. And we could do whatever we want in front of this damn dude with his girl. And he won't do nothing. That's a simp. That's like level 5. Like, that's like level 5. That's like, you need to go to counseling. Right? You need to go to counseling. That's what that is. You need to go to counseling. But let's go ahead, man, and look at this. Let's go ahead and look at the response, man. We 26 minutes in and we haven't even saw it. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's sad, bro. It's sad, man. I've been telling this guy, man, for years, since we were juniors in high school, bro. Look, and the girl he's with is his high school sweetheart. So I understand, you know, why he would feel the type of way that he feels towards her. I see why it would be hard for her to try to get rid of her. Not saying that he needs, well, she's a feminist. So look, I'm not saying that he needs to, but at the same time, when you go through the shit that you go through, man, it's just like, man, hey, look, you know, I'm just on here trying to give you advice. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give you advice. So let's go ahead, man, and look at this other one, man, because we really need to go ahead and get into the nitty gritty of this. We need to get into the nitty and gritty of this. Let's go ahead, man, and check this out, man. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Could have told you. I listened to it and I was like, oh yeah, it's that. It's like she went in and picked like menu option A, you know, and that's the call. It's like I could, if it wasn't breaking attorney-client privilege, I got about a half a dozen celebrities that you've probably seen in films and TV that I'd put you in touch with, and they'd go, oh yeah, I got that call. I remember that call. Her name was Janet, you know. Oh, I remember that call. That was Kiki, you know, and that's how it is. And by the way, you guys live in the city where those calls always come from. I don't know what it is about Miami. Maybe that's why I haven't come on. I'm afraid I'm going to show up in Miami and suddenly I'll get out of the airplane and someone will claim they're pregnant with my child. Like, I'm afraid that will happen instantly when I get off of the plane at MIA airport.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No worries. We'll run it real quick, and then I know Fresh can't talk as much, but I'll give a little bit of my commentary because I haven't said anything about this shit either, and obviously. Let's just play the call real fast. Yeah. Let's just play it.
Go for it.
Obviously, I know that there's legal proceedings going on. Go ahead, Bills. My bad.
I want the baby because I don't want to kill the baby. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to.
You're not. They just give you a pill and it's over.
No. I'm pregnant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
I am pregnant. I can't pretending like nothing happened. I can't. In my religion, we don't kill.
You're not killing.
Pause.
Okay.
I don't know if you.
I mean, guys, listen, right? I mean, we can sit here, you know, like I said, we can sit here and say, nah, that's not true. That might be a lie. But dog, it clearly sounds like Fresh. right? It clearly, and even in the video that I made, I said, man, look, it's alleged. It's alleged because she still could be lying. Once again, we know how women are today. With us even saying that statement, once again, how does this Negro find himself in that situation? I don't know. But once again, right? You got this brother sitting over here saying, right? People saying, hey, what some people saying, well, you know, it might be a lie, it might be this, it might be that, but it clearly sounds like them. Right? You had somebody on you had somebody on that video who sat here and said, well, bro, so you don't truly freaking know. Well, of course, nobody freaking knows. Truly, nobody knows. But we're going to report on it because, once again, we have people who are in the community, who are pillars of the community, falling victim to the things they tell other men not to fall victim to. That's hypocritical to the next level. That's hypocritical to the next level. Not really worried about him dealing with the chick. If that's what he wants to do, then that's what he wants to do. I'm not going to penalize anybody for wanting to go ahead and get some rocks knocked off, right? Go ahead and freaking knock some boots. But once again, when you sit up here, man, and like I said, you find yourself in this situation, because I believe, from my understanding, he even admitted to sitting over here going raw. Why would you do that? And y'all saw what the woman looks like. Y'all just go look at my thumbnail. Go look at my thumbnail, the video I just posted. Y'all see what the woman looked like. That's literally the same women they talk about every single day on their channel. But yet you still find yourself in that same situation. So when people sit up here and say, well, it could be a fault. Well, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, you this, well, you that. When you have Myron who sit up here and say, well, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all ain't never really spoke out to him, this, that, and the third. Listen, you're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people trying to hit up fresh to see if this shit was a lie or not. And then every single time that I saw where they found themselves in a situation, they're only going to deflect and deny it. Right? And granted, Myron has taken accountability sometimes. There's been times where they've taken accountability, but it should be more of a one-time thing. Hey, well, look, I take accountability for what I did. I messed up, yada, yada, yada. But we're still keep going through the same cycle damn near 3 years later. When Myron went through that situation with old girl, I just started YouTube. When they had those people break into the house or to their studio. That's when I just started YouTube. So once again, Fresh and Fit, Kevin Samuels, and Poor Man Podcast are a big reason why I even started this channel. There are big reasons. Poor Man Podcast put the icing on the cake because I was like, that's the exact format that I want to do. Something easy, and just I just want to have conversations. And I just want to have conversations. So, like I said, man, they've been doing this. They've been doing this stuff for years, man. They've been doing this stuff for years, and it's sad. But hey, it's not going to take accountability for some of the things, I guess.
You guys notice, but she's using extreme language and she's calling, saying, I don't want to do this, etc. And she's fishing for a response, right? It's very obvious. And the thing too is that, like, I mean, I know this, like, there was an agreement that they weren't going to ever have kids. Like, but why is she calling now saying, oh, I'm pregnant?
It's so funny because how she's talking, I'm like shocked because I'm like, normally you don't talk like this.
Yeah.
It's more like, it's following a script.
Yeah.
Almost. But I'm like,
and it's good on your part because you didn't really say too much.
Nah.
But
I'm like, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So
again, there was an agreement that they weren't gonna like have kids or anything like that, and then now she's coming in saying like, "Oh, I'm pregnant and I don't want to kill the baby" and all this other stuff, and it's like, what the hell? Like,
she brought in religion.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing right now?
She's not religious, guys. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue.
I want to keep the baby.
Okay. Well, like I said, I just don't want any kids.
Pause.
No.
Very obvious fishing for a response, like, what the hell are you doing? No, you better not, blah, blah, blah. Like, she was trying to fish for an emotional reaction to make you look crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
All All right,
and this is a pretty classic tactic, guys, because the reality is that, I've done this in a courtroom so many times. I've played these kinds of recordings. I can't tell you how many times I've heard what are you doing? No, don't hit me. Oh, my God. What is that knife? Why do you have that knife? And meanwhile, my client's like, I was on the other side of the room, and I had a banana in my hand that I was eating, you know. And oh, my God, what is that? That gun you're holding? You know, so the sound I have heard many times, the sound I just heard, and that is the sound of a man who almost sounds like he's got PTSD. But he's like, wait, what are we talking about? What is going on? Like, who am I talking to right now? This sounds insane. Who speaks this way? Who pauses in that way as if for, okay, now let's let you talk. Let's get some dramatic effect going. Like, this is not a conversation between two adults who are talking about something not for performance purposes, one-sided performance purposes, but because they actually want to have a dialogue. And again, ask yourselves, what kind of person, if you were dealing with something truthful and this serious, does this, records it, and immediately publishes it on the internet, and then continues to follow it up with more internet postings? What kind of human being, is a serious human being do that? Does a person who has any self-respect or respect for other people do that?
Does someone who actually want to have a kid do that?
No.
Like that's the other thing too, for all you simps in the fucking chat right now. Abortion. Bro, do you think someone who's actually really pregnant with a child will do this shit? Like,
well,
and
what I'll tell you too is a classic
simps,
tactic on this. Classic tactic on this.
Like, y'all are some fucking simps in the chat.
It becomes the I'm going to need some money for the terminate pregnancy. I'm also going to need.
No. Any woman, man, that really and truly wants a kid will not do this. But guess what? Fresh and Fit, y'all know this. Y'all know this. Y'all know this for a fact. Y'all know this for a fact, but guess what? Damn near 3 years later, we are still in the same situation where we're sitting over here calling other people names, calling people simps and this and that, because we're just simply using our brain and just listening to what we're seeing or what we're hearing, right? We're seeing what we're seeing and we're listening to what we're hearing. And once again, we're the imps, we're this and that. Now, granted, some guys are saying some dumb things, but at the same time, ain't saying nothing, man, that isn't truthful about this, right? Everything that they're saying is truthful. Everything that a lot of people are saying about this is very truthful. Well, bro, it sounds like, man, sound like Preston got himself in a bad situation. Sound like Preston knocked himself up a modern Western woman. The same woman, man, that they preach us not to deal with. The same woman that they tell us, hey, man, look, we shouldn't even want to take seriously. So, I mean, once again, like I said, you look at it, it's just like, how do you not see that? You look at it, how do you not see that this is a problem waiting to happen? You don't see that? You can't see that whatsoever? You can't see that whatsoever. Like, come on, man. I tell y'all, man, like, it doesn't make any sense, but hey, hey, look, we gotta sit over here and call people in the chat simps, and gotta call people in the chat dumbass, and then gotta give them all the names in the book. You gotta give them all the names in the book for simply just, once again, holding you accountable after the 5th and 6th time that y'all done messed up. Like, come on, man. Let's go ahead and continue.
Need some money to recover after that because it was very traumatic for me. Or if that shakedown doesn't work, it turns in a couple of months. I lost the baby. My goodness, I lost the baby. And by the way, now I'm very upset that I lost the baby. And obviously I'm not going to return the money for the stroller and for the car and for all the down payment on the condo that I said that I needed because I was going to have your child. But yes, I lost the baby. And if you say, well, are you sure you were pregnant? How dare you ask that? Look, I have something from Planned Parenthood that I've posted on my social media that, there's no way to edit a PDF, guys. Don't you know that? Don't you know there's no way to take a generic piece of paper from Planned Parenthood that anybody could get for $10 and change it to say whatever it is you wanted to say? And then in a few months, just turn around and say, oh, I lost the baby. It's such a tragedy. And again, if you defend yourself, if you say anything in the court of public opinion, you lose no matter what, which is why, again, you know, revenge is a dish best served cold. There are criminal and civil penalties for this kind of behavior.
Wait, I can't respond, right? Damn. I want to say something so
Nope,
bad.
you cannot respond. Sorry. I'm directing you not to respond. I know you want to. They can kill me in the chat if they want to. Grow up, go to law school, and then you can tell your clients whatever the hell you want to tell them. But I am telling you, this is not the time to make this comment. Because I know there's a lot of additional information you have, because I know that information. But I'm telling you, now is not the time.
Yeah.
Let somebody just keep digging the hole. Let them just keep digging the hole, because that's the time you unleash the information.
Play the thing.
Please keep going. This is a few more seconds.
Yeah, it's a few more seconds. And it's crazy to me how people are, you know, immediately saying like, "Oh, she's pregnant. Yo, you're encouraging an abortion, etc." Bro, we don't know if it's even true. Like, you know, they say hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned. Like, bro, this at the end of the day, let me just fucking say this. She's mad because Fresh didn't want to get her a fucking apartment in Miami. Ta-da! There you guys fucking go. All right? She's mad because Fresh didn't want to fucking get her an apartment in Miami, and he didn't want to be with her no more. That's why she's doing all this shit. All right? She did a pregnancy test before in fucking Barbados, and it came back negative. Sorry, I had to fucking say this shit. It's fucking annoying me. These fucking ass clowns in the chat saying all this bullshit, whatever. There's a high likelihood it's not true, and she's doing this shit because she knows that she's done. She knows that he don't want to be with her no more, so she's like, let me take the fucking building down with me. Let me burn this bitch down and make him look terrible. Let me record this fucking phone call, premeditated, call it, make him get a reaction so I could put this shit on the internet, put it on Instagram stories immediately after. It happened to me. You guys remember 3 years ago, some fucking chick, 3 weeks later, oh, I'm pregnant. It was a fucking lie. She used that shit to do a media run, went everywhere, did interviews all over the place, ran her OnlyFans up. Did you guys forget about that? Did you guys forget about that? That shit happened to me too. And it's happening again.
Gentlemen, I have to tell you, it is you are in a huge fraternity. I'm not kidding when I say that this is the sign of success. I cannot, because of attorney-client privilege, tell you how many men in a 25-year career I have seen this exact story play out with. Much of the time, there was no pregnancy. Much of the time, there was a pregnancy that mysteriously miscarries a short time later, usually after the check clears or the wire transfer is completed. Sometimes there is, in fact, a pregnancy, but many of the times, once that pregnancy comes to completion, wouldn't you know, the DNA test reveals that the individual who was alleged to be the father of this child, usually the one with a 7 or 8 figure bank account, turns out to not be it. And the scumbag boyfriend who they had on the side, who, makes minimum wage, he was the one who happens to have all the genetic markers tied to this child. So, there's a whole lot of ways this story ends at the majority of the time. And again, now is not we're not doing a post-mortem on this situation yet because it's not done yet. But I will tell you with a very high degree of confidence, knowing a lot more about this situation than anyone in this situation other than the gentleman himself, that there is a lot more happening here and a lot more information that if you were a reckless individual and ignoring my advice as counsel, you would unleash immediately both barrels. But I appreciate that you are at least following some of my advice. The fact that we're talking about this at all means you're not completely following my advice. The reality is you don't talk, you walk, and that talking is about this stuff just gives it oxygen. I mean, you're just giving this individual's 15 minutes, another 15 minutes. I understand why you're doing it. I understand that it's important to want to protect yourself. And I understand that your partner here is less restrained and certainly wants to protect you, which I respect the bonds of brotherhood in that way. But if you want to finish listening to the last few seconds of this Oscar-worthy performance,
yeah,
I think we certainly can do that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bells. You got it.
Okay, so what you gonna do? And what you gonna do to me?
What you gonna do to me?
Nothing. Why would I do anything to you?
Now, I will say that, like, and like I said, man, look, it's just another modern woman, man, that's being extra. It's another not modern woman, man, that's trying to get over it, even though, like, hey, once again, Fresh and Fit knows this, but yet somehow, some way, they still find themselves in this situation, right? But like she said, hey, well, what are you gonna do to me? It's just good wordplay for the woman, because once again, like, as the attorney said, he sat here and said, man, that, hey, I can't tell you how many times I heard women sat up here and say, hey, well, what are you doing with that knife? Or what are you doing this? Essentially trying to put that man in a bad situation so they can at least have a recording, which this woman does. And it's just, it's 2024, man. What woman ain't going to record? Every woman is going to record, whether they're in the wrong or whether they're in the right. They're just going to freaking record, because, hey, guess what? That's the best thing that they can do in their life, right? Record whatever they can. So, like I said, it's a bad look, man. Like I said, it's just going to continue to be a bad look, bro, until they can fix that, man.
Nothing?
Why did I do anything to you?
No, I know. So, like, how are you going to deal with this? By saying, I don't want a baby? That's all?
I mean, let's go to the doctor, I guess.
To the doctor. So you want abortion?
Hey, now look, credibility is your best ability, right? Credibility is your best ability. Once again, these guys are slowly are starting to become uncredible, right? It's just like having credit. Literally, it's just like having credit. You do good, you pay your shit off, you do whatever you need to do, your credit is going to go up. You don't pay shit off, you have bad debt, whatever, your credit is going to go down. Myron's Fresh and Fit, their credibility is just keeps going down. After 3 years, it just keeps going down and down and down and down and down. We're going to keep trying to defend brothers like this. I mean, like I said, I love these brothers to death. And I would never turn on them. I would never turn on them. It's just that when you preach some of the stuff that you preach and you don't even live by it, your credibility is going to be skewed, and even your best friends are going to look at you and be like, you got to watch out for this brother, just because, once again, he's just not credible. Some of the things that he does is just a bad look. So you got somebody in the chat says they tell people not to commit to these women. And from this, it seems that she knew he was with other women. So in my opinion, it does not make him look that bad. In a way, it conveys him as a player. You know about y'all understand, y'all know why it's hard for Dr. Umar to be taken seriously. Y'all know why it's hard for that brother to get people to take him seriously. Because number one, he couldn't even build a school, right? He couldn't even build a school. So once again, credibility. You saying that you want to build these schools, you're all about Black lives this, Black lives that, and you still yet haven't built a school. And I remember him talking about building this school years ago. I'm talking about years ago, man. Years ago, right? What else doesn't make him as credible is that, you sit over here and down all these white women, you do this, you do that, oh man, you got to be all black. But when you look at him, it's like, bro, don't you have two baby mothers? But yet you sit over here telling men, hey man, look, you can't sit over here, man, and say that, man. What? There was one guy, man. There was one radio host where he was sitting over here saying, and it was on Joe Budden's podcast. He asked him, because I believe the guy, he's married to a white woman. And he asked him, well, why didn't you date a black woman? Well, I did. It didn't work. Well, why didn't you date one after that? I did. It didn't work. And then he went to, well, why didn't you do it after that? After that? Why didn't you try another one? And it's like, okay, I mean, Dr. Umar, we get it, right? We get it. But what about you, bro? What about you? You done created all of these. You done created two single mothers, right? You done created two single mothers. But yet you're all about, you know what? Hey, well, as black men, you need to be dealing with black women. Why aren't you dealing with one of your baby mothers? Now, hey, maybe it was one of those situations where he was young, like the excuse a lot of women use. I was just young and dumb. Maybe it was one of those situations. But two single mothers, I mean, hey, and you probably got to look more into it. You know, how old was he when he made these two single mothers, right? Did he make them while he was still preaching what he's preaching now? And even then, before that, I mean, he just didn't come up with this mindset that he has today. He's been preaching this for a long ass time. So, like I said, it's a bad look, right? It's a bad look. Same thing for Dr. Umar. It's a bad look. Same thing for Fresh and Fit. It's a bad look. And not only, and see, here's the thing, right? It'd be a different story if it's just a one-off thing, right? It'd be a different story if he didn't have what he had it'd be a different story if they didn't have the track record that they had spanning 2 years ago, right? Where Myron was in the exact same situation this brother was in. Where Myron was sitting over here, man, you know, getting women to come on the show, having sex with them, or whatever. You know, I'm saying the list goes on. We all know if we kept up with Fresh and Fit over the 2 years, we know all of the drama that they've been through. And my only question is, why don't you see this with Kevin Samuels? Why don't you see this with different perspective? Now, granted, of course, they have a different platform format or whatnot, but you don't hear that stuff with Kevin Samuels. Different perspective. Poor Man's Podcast. I believe Steph is Cold. You know, I mean, the list goes on. You got all of these brothers that you don't see going through this stuff. But then you look at Fresh and Fit, who are pillars of community, who tells you to watch out for these women. They are then putting themselves in that exact same situation. So, you know, granted, hey, I mean, you're a brother, man, with you're a brother who possibly allegedly made a single mother, right? Because let's just say she does have a child, he ain't gonna want to deal with that. He ain't gonna want to be in that kid's life. Well, he might be in the kid's life, but he ain't gonna want to deal with that woman. You know, hopefully, and if it is true, hopefully he's able to find a way to, you know, to make things right, you know. But I mean, like, I don't know how you're gonna make things right with that woman. You're talking about a modern Western woman. And I just hope, I mean, and the fact that she's even willing to record this is going to show you that if she does have the baby, if it's true or not, she ain't gonna be a good baby mother. Let's just put it that way. She's not gonna be a good baby mother. And that's the sad part about it. That is the sad part about it. And this is something that they preach us and tell us not to do. So when you got my brother sit up here and say, so in my opinion, it does not make him look that bad, brother. It looks bad, right? It looks bad. When y'all look up here, y'all look at, let me show y'all. If y'all look up in the top left corner, they're going to see people saying certain things where they saying, the one guy said Myron IDKO. Yo, I don't know what that means. But if y'all look up in the top left corner, y'all will see people saying that Myron is stupid, that they don't know what to talk. Other guys are saying, yo, look, Myron and Fresh, like, man, look, stop trying to compensate for y'all piss poor behavior, right? Overcompensate for y'all piss poor behavior. Because that's what they're pretty much doing, trying to overcompensate, right? Trying to correct and trying to pretty much convince people, hey, man, look, this is just some BS. It is some BS, some truthful BS that you put yourself in. So yeah, it's going to be a bad look. Now, granted, I see what you mean, bro. Brother, I see what you mean. I definitely see what you mean, right, Terry? But at the end of the day, you can't preach what they preach and then go through everything that they've been through. And it's not, once again, it's not to sit over here and say that they have to be perfect. It's not to say that they are perfect. It's not to say that they are perfect. It's not to say that they have to be perfect. It's not to sit over here and say that they can't make a mistake. But there's just certain mistakes that you just can't make. And this is one of them. Let's go ahead and go back to it.
I mean, yeah. Why do you want a kid now?
And why do you make me pregnant now?
So I'm like, there's no way that's true. But then I said, oh, wow. Like,
so just think about it. It's meant to be.
Can I say why that might not be true? Or no, I can't.
No, not right now.
All right.
God wants you to have the baby.
Now God's involved.
Definitely not.
It is. God wants you to have a baby. 7 years never happened.
Pause real
and
quick,
then you are relating.
Pause real quick. A lot of you fucking guys in the chat, I don't know what you guys forgot or whatever. Some of you guys like think we're trad cons over here or we're super religious. We said it a million times. I'm not a practicing Muslim. Fresh isn't a practicing Christian.
Correct.
We run a fucking dating podcast for all you ass clowns and teach you guys how to get laid. So what the fuck makes you guys think that we're sitting here and we're being traditionally conservative and all religious and shit? We've never been religious. We brought guests on that are religious, that talk about religion and etc. But we're not, because we bring guests on that have different viewpoints than us, and we're okay with that. We don't have an echo chamber over here. We've told you guys a million times, we're not fucking religious. So don't sit there and try to hold us to some standard like, abortion's against the rules, all this other bullshit. Bro, number one, this chick ain't pregnant. It's fucking cap, in my opinion. I think it's a fucking lie, right? Because bitches have done this shit to me. It's happened. That's number one. Number two, we are not religious, okay, guys? We said this a million times. So you guys try to sit there, Fresh, you claim to be a man of God, you're a man of Christ, blah, blah. Fresh has said many times, I'm a man of God, and he's just kidding around. Y'all know that we deal with fucking chicks. We teach you how to get them.
Yeah,
like,
we give you secular
we're not
advice.
tradcons over here.
Yeah. And
Gentlemen, the reality here is
And what did I say, right? And what did I say? And this just proves my point even further on the last video that I made about Fresh. That, listen, they teach something very different than what my channel teaches or talks about, what O'Shea Duke Jackson talks about, what Kevin Samuels talks about, what Different Perspective, Abba and Preach. I mean, Abba Preach really ain't even a part of Red Pill like that. But you got all of these other brothers, Chisa Zed. I mean, the list goes on, bro. The list goes on. But when you look at that part of Red Pill content, it's very different than the Red Pill content that Myron and Fresh is talking about, than Alpha Male Strategies. Still same foundation. We still all come from the same foundation. We're still all saying that a lot of your women today have issues. But Myron, once again, trying to teach men how to get women. Like, to me, that's mighty kind of crazy if you ask me. I mean, like, when you're 20s, you don't know how to get a woman. I mean, hey, but I mean, then again, I really can't say much, man, because I had a girlfriend, man, since I was in the damn 6th grade, 5th grade. So, and I've had a girl ever since. So I'm kind of hip to the game, right? I've done seen it. I've done seen it all, right? I've done seen it all. Now, even though I am 26 years of age, and I ain't seen every damn thing, but I saw enough to sit over here and say, you know what? There's a certain shit I ain't gonna deal with these women, right? And I've came up with that mindset when I got to high school. By the time I became a junior and senior, started to grow up and started to develop. And man, look, man, some of these women, man, just it ain't gonna happen. My cousin, right, my homeboy I've known since 2 years of age, he wasn't able to come up with that mindset. He wasn't able to have that mindset, right? I only dealt with one girl pretty much his whole damn life. I mean, the woman that he's pretty much whipped over, he's known her since high school. So high school sweethearts. Somebody like myself who's been thinking about stuff like this for the longest, when you sit over here and see situations like this, you're like, okay, I couldn't see myself in that situation. I can't not say that it won't ever happen, right? Even though it won't. But once again, you just have to understand. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just have to know these brothers just being hypocritical, right? These brothers just being very hypocritical, man. And somebody says, who the baby daddies? We don't know. She's been with 45 guys in the last week. And if that is the case, then I would think they would know that, hey, maybe I need to strap up. Maybe I need to go ahead and strap up. Maybe if this woman is out here getting slammed by 45 guys with over the last weeks, right now, granted, it's probably exaggerated. It might be more than that. But if that's the case, he should know that. If that's the case, he should know that he should not have went in raw.
Is everyone who is listening to this, particularly any man who is listening to this, I know the majority of your audience is male, anyone who is listening to this, this should put a chill down your spine. You are not safe. You're only safe if you're unsuccessful. So feel free to be unsuccessful. You'll never have this problem. But I guarantee you that if you are a successful man, at some point, these kinds of allegations get made. I've had these allegations made against people who go, I've never even been in the same state as this woman. I've never been in a room with her. Or every time I've been in a room with her, there were other people there. This happens to married men. This happens to Muslims, Christians, Jews. This happens to pretty much everybody. And I will tell you, again, listen to this recording. If you've taken the time to listen to the recording, listen to the recording. Like, look, the reality is this is not how someone speaks when they're having an actual conversation. This is, if you said to me that her voice was AI, I would say, you know what, AI is way better than that. Like, this is shitty AI. Because what this is someone who really has no future as an actress. Because this is so unbelievably a setup. This is a professional hit. And why? If you can't see that, you're blind. And if you see that and then give credit to anything that this person is saying, then shame on you. And certainly don't claim to be, oh, I'm a man of God or I'm not, whatever. Because look, the reality here is there's truth and there's fiction. And the reality of this recording is this is not a good faith conversation in any capacity. This is a setup. This is a hit. And when someone does a setup, a hit, and immediately unleashes that to the public for the purposes of clout chasing or a shakedown financially, anything else that comes out of that person's mouth, the Bush doctrine applies. We do not negotiate with terrorists. We don't do that. That's not what we do.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, even as us here having this stream, I didn't even want to do it. I wanted to do an IRL stream and like get back to it, but people were just bombarding us with this. So it's like, all right, we'll address it for you guys. But it amazes me that you guys are so quick to believe that gets on the internet that clearly did this, set it up, premeditated, went to Instagram immediately after illegally recording a phone call, and you guys are so quick to say, wow, Fresh, you're such a bad guy, blah, blah, blah. Bro, this chick is lying. This is my take. I mean, I'm not privy to the conversations that Fresh had with his counsel, but I'm telling you as an outsider looking at it, I'm like, bro, this is a fucking lie.
When I first came on before we started recording, and I spoke with the two of you briefly, I said to both of you that I think that the less that's said about this, the better from a legal perspective. There's a script that I often give to clients, which is I have no specific recollection of any wrongdoing, although I acknowledge mistakes may have been made. I'd like to move forward past this unfortunate incident. You should write that shit down. I will tell you, there's a reason why you guys are excellent communicators. You have a great point of view. It's why I was a fan before I was your counsel. But I got to tell you, man, you're killing me right now. You're killing me with what you're saying right now. Because again,
I'm sorry, man. Yeah.
From an entertainment and a reality perspective, I love it. Preach, my friends. But now is not the time to unleash the Kraken here.
I'm done.
There's a lot being said right now, and I appreciate, Walter, that you are taking my advice and you are not saying it, but we are going down roads that we do not need to go down right now. There will be time, as I've said now 4 or 5 times in this conversation, revenge is a dish best served cold. There are consequences for behavior, and it is not consequences against you I am talking about. There are consequences for the kinds of behaviors, for this kind of a professional attempt at a hit. Because I have to tell you, if you're going to strike at the king, you better kill the king. Because if you don't, he's still got a bigger platform than you. So
All right, guys. All right, man. So look, I ain't gonna bore y'all, man, too much with it, man. But look, I'm gonna just put it this way: when you're working for a business, when you're working for a company, right? And this literally sums up Fresh and Fit. This literally sums up Fresh and Fit. You have a business, you have a company or whatever. You're hired. Let's just say you get into a shootout, or let's just say you just happen to be involved in something, but you're not truly involved in it. So let's just say your name just keeps popping up in that same situation. Like you have 3 shootouts go on. You probably would never at any of those, but your name keeps popping up at those. And this is hypothetical, but your names keep popping up at those because it's happened before. If your name keeps popping up, a company is going to look at you and say, okay, the first time I will allow it to slide, right? Because how in the world? But then the second time, how is your name popping up? Then the third time, okay, we might need to part ways, but they're probably going to part ways after the second time. Though you probably weren't the one doing it, though you probably wasn't the one a part of it, guess what? Your name keeps popping up in it. Your name keeps popping up in it, so your company's going to let you go. And what you going to sit over here and say, whoa, dude, they're lying. You're just going to sit over here and believe them over me? Well, it's not necessarily the company having to believe you. but it's the fact that you keep finding yourself in the same situation. Keep finding yourself in the same situation. You have this NFL football player that, let me go ahead and pull him up. But y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all heard of Reuben Foster, right? Y'all heard of Reuben Foster. I'm talking about, man, that dude was a monster on the freaking field. I used to watch all his highlights before my football games, man. Reuben Foster was like that, man. Reuben Foster was freaking like that. This is him right here. Reuben Foster was freaking like that, bro. But what killed his career, what destroyed Reuben Foster's career was a woman. Well, KB, what do you mean? How does a woman ruin his damn career? Well, and hopefully one day we might do a video on it, but his girlfriend and him constantly going back and forth, always arguing, to the point where neighbors calling cops, and cops keep coming to this dude's door come to this guy's house every single time, right? So you got these cops constantly keep coming over here, and it wasn't one time, it wasn't twice, it happened multiple times, to where every time that it happened, it would make the news. He's playing for the Redskins, mind you, he's the first round draft pick. He keeps making the news over and over and over about the same situation, and his woman will go back and retract her statements. The woman will go back and retract her statements every single time. Go back and retract her statements, and it just puts a negative light. So he's not getting charged for this stuff. He's not essentially getting in trouble for it, right? Because once again, she's going back and retracting the statement, so it's as if it never really happened. She's just lying. But guess what? The team end up letting them go, because they're saying, dude, this is becoming an issue. Yeah, you're not getting charged for it. Yeah, she keeps saying she's lying, but dog, it looks bad on us. It looks bad on us. So when you have Fresh and Fit who constantly keep going through the same things over and over and over for the past 3 years, and they keep denying it. Let's just say everything that they've been accused of wasn't true. The fact that your name keeps popping up in it is an issue. The fact that your name keeps popping up in it will always be an issue. And that's something that we just have to understand. That's just something that we have to understand. So when people getting fired for their name popping up in things that they don't have nothing to do with, but it constantly keeps popping up, it's like, bro, you got something to do with it, bro. You got something to freaking do with it. So that's just my whole thing about it, man. You know, this is my longest live, man. This is most people I've ever had in here, man. I haven't having 7, 8 people come up in here. So, you know, that's lit, man. That's lit. But at the end of the day, man, y'all let me know down below, man. How do y'all feel about this stuff, man? Because like I said, it's a bad look, right? So like I said, when you have Myron and Fresh going through the stuff that they're going through, it looks bad on the community. It looks bad on Red Pill. At some point where Red Pill's gonna be like, I mean, damn, man, like, you get what I'm saying? But hey, because they have a good production, because they, you know, it's Fresh and Fit, you know what I'm saying? It's Fresh and Fit we're talking about. A lot of guys are going to allow some things to slide, and it's just like, man, look, we just can't allow some of this stuff to slide. The fact that their name keep popping up for the past 3 years now, that's just something that we just can't ignore. That's just something we just can't ignore. So we got my boy Theo Cool. What up, man? What up, Big Unc? Let me see. You got somebody else says, dang, man. You know, and like I said, man, hey, I'm glad my boy Big Unc over here, man. Make me feel good, man, about myself. Nah, I was kidding. But nah, man, at the end of the day, bro, you know, like I said, man, it's just a bad look, man, for the community, bro. It's just a bad look for Red Pill, because when people think of Red Pill, the first people they think of is Kevin Samuels, which is good. I don't have no issues with that. I don't think anybody has an issue with that. But the biggest people that are going to think of is Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate. Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate. Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate. Like I said, Andrew Tate ain't bad. Andrew Tate isn't bad, but at the same time, look at what he was tied to, which is sad, right? Because he's innocent of it. He's innocent of it, but look at what he has gone through, right? So I don't know, man. Y'all just let me know, man. Like I said, down below, man. How do y'all feel about it? Because I hate it for the brother. You know, I hate it for Fresh. But at the end of the day, if this is all you can freaking produce every single year, it seems like they're going through some shit every single year. We have to. Some people are going to look at you differently, and the credibility is going to start dropping. After the first few times that Fresh and Fit got into some shit, I was just like, man, look, Yeah, it's just hard. It's just hard to defend y'all. It just gets hard to defend y'all to the point where I just can't. I just don't even defend it anymore. Now, of course, if somebody says something, I'm like, man, look, they put a lot. They talking about some shit, right? They talking about some shit, but at the same time, it's just hard. It's just hard to defend them, man. That's all I can say. It's just hard to defend them. If y'all out here to defend me, y'all let me know, man, down below. What y'all saying? What y'all saying? But every time, man, somebody keep bringing up, well, what about him sitting over here trying to have sex with other women? Well, what about him sitting over here, man? Knocking this girl up. What about this? What about that? It just becomes repetitive. Not something that, man, we want to freaking deal with. So, like I said, man, look, y'all do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe. Let me go ahead and read some of the comments, man. Somebody else says W Podcast and take, man, keep up the hard work. I'm gonna subscribe. Thank you, bro. Somebody else says Cable the Flair just found your channel and sub. You are going to blow up. Hey, man. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, man. After all these damn years, hopefully. Right. Somebody else says, I'm not saying you're wrong. You're right, but it wasn't just a part of the game, especially for them since they're like Goliath in that space. Not sure what you're saying, brother. I'm not saying you're wrong. You're right, but. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I read that wrong. So he's saying, isn't that just part of the game? You out here. Granted, yeah. It is part of the game when you sitting over here, constantly keep dealing with women, doing what they do. I get that. I don't agree with you. I don't disagree with you on that one. It is a part of the game, but let me ask you though. Kevin Samuels, let's just be real. He was out here, but he was probably out here slinging some of that old dick. You know what I'm saying? But you never heard anything coming from him. You never heard any issues coming from him, right? You don't ever hear any issues coming from him. What about the guy from whatever podcast, right? Some people said I don't even freaking watch the whatever podcast, but you have that white guy. Now I don't watch him a lot, but I don't hear anything. I don't hear any bad thing coming from that host, right? You don't hear any bad things coming from all of these other people, man, who do the same thing that Fresh and Fit does. So yeah, so like I said, it is part of the game. It is part of the game, but at the end of the day, when you're a part of the red pill community and you preach some of the stuff that they're preaching, you're going to be held to a higher standard. At the end of the day, you're just going to be held to a higher standard. That's the good thing about red pill, because we're different than the society. We're different than what your regular people deal with every single day. Even though we're regular too, but we're very different. We're going to hold ourselves to a higher standard. So when you have Fresh and Fit doing the stuff that they're doing, that if somebody like Doja Cat would do, or some rapper or something would do, it's like, okay, man, cool. That's what they do. But Fresh and Fit, it's like, bro, you train people to avoid situations like this, and this is what you get. So, like I said, man, I appreciate everybody, man, that came in. I appreciate everybody, man, that commented on this channel, man. So, look, man, y'all do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe, man. And hopefully we do another live.